Hey grip friends, it's Maria and Gil. We are here today to talk about the Southern Squeeze 2017, which is the biggest grip competition in the South. It's going to be on January 14th, so 2-ish months away. And we're making this video because a lot of people have asked us that haven't done a grip competition before what the events are and what they look like, and can they see some of them on camera so they can have a visual. So we're going to run through what those events are. You're not totally going to get it if you're new, and that's all right. But just to give you an idea of what to expect. So the first event is going to be grippers. This is a gripper. This is a block set grippers. There's going to be grippers of various weights and strengths to close. And you're going to have 4 attempts to close the heaviest one that you can close. So the set will work with you if you haven't figured that out yet. You set the gripper in your hand. You can use the offhand to help set the gripper, and then you've got to run a 20 millimeter block between the handles. Make sure the judge can see it before you close it, and it's a good attempt. So you've got 4 attempts on grippers to pick one that you can close, and you get to warm up and you get to practice. So if you're new, you don't need to worry about a gripper being there that's too heavy for you, because we're going to have a range all the way from 30 pounds, 20 pounds, all the way up to something in the 200s. The second event in the Southern Squeeze is the barrel strength pinch implement called the Flask Pinch, meaning our hands are going to be like crab claws when we lift it. Again, you're going to have 4 attempts to lift the heaviest weight that you can lift on the flask. So that day we'll have plates set up, we'll load it up, there'll be warm-up implements out. You can kind of figure out where you are. You choose your first attempt and you stand over the weight.
So you'll grasp the flask with an overhand grip with 2 hands, pinch as hard as you can, and then lift until you hit the crossbar. And then as soon as you hit the crossbar, you return the weight to the ground under control.
So if I lift the flask and my attempt hits the crossbar, but I drop it and I don't control it on the way down, that doesn't count. You get 4 attempts in the flask. The flask is what we call a rising bar event, meaning once you get to a certain weight, you can't come back down, so that the competition runs smoothly. So if you lift 30 pounds on the flask and your next attempt is 35 or 40 and you miss it, you don't get to go to 32 or 33. You've got to keep trying where you missed it or go up. So the third event in the Southern Squeeze is going to be another one-hand event like the grippers. Flask is 2-hand. Tips tester, which is also a barrel strength systems implement. Again, you've got to bring this bar up to the crossbar. This time you've got to do one hand. Same setup as the flask. You've got to hit and control it on the way down. If you lift and drop, it doesn't count. Also a rising bar event, meaning you can't come down in weight once you pick something as an attempt and go up. This is a super friendly, beginners friendly environment. So again, we can lower these weights and start as low as 10 pounds if someone is new and worried about being able to do it. The idea for the day is to lift the best that you can and not worry about how much is really on there. So the fourth event of the Southern Squeeze is going to be what in the grip world we call a medley. You'll walk over to an area. This is a timed event, so everyone gets either 60 or 90 seconds, however long we decide you're going to get that day. And on the floor will be a bunch of different implements and weights that you've probably never seen before. We don't tell you what they are because it's usually a surprise, and the medley is the most fun part. So once the clock starts, you'll have that time to go around and see how many things you can lift. Some will be things on the floor that you have to lift to a platform, and that counts as a point. Other things will be things like the tips tester, something else that you lift to lock out, and then put that down. So if you get 6 items and you can't lift anymore and your time isn't up, you're done. You can also keep running around trying to lift things until that time runs out for points. Like last year, we're going to have a women's medley again and a juniors medley so that we can make it more fair. And the medley is usually, like I said in the beginning, the most fun part, and we're going to keep it a surprise until that day. If you have any questions about the Southern Squeeze, how to sign up, if it's not clear, or any concerns about implements, injuries, things that you were wondering about, email us, message us on Facebook, write in the event on Facebook. We'll put the link to the Southern Squeeze in the bio or in the YouTube comments so that you can reach out to us. And hopefully we'll see you in January.
TheSouthernSqueeze.com.
That too.